Hi, good evening, my dear grade 10 children. How are you all? Hope you're fine and safe there. Today is 11th for 2020, Saturday. Today we are going to learn a new unit number 20, organisms and their environment. In that unit, we are going to learn the topic food chains and food webs. If you open your course book, page number 264, you can see the unit name, organisms and their environment. In that unit, you want to learn food chains and food webs, efficiency of energy transfer, pyramid of numbers, pyramid of biomass, the carbon cycle and water cycle, the nitrogen cycle, populations and the factors that affect them. These are the points you want to learn in this unit. Okay. In grade 9, you already learned about the food chain, right? So it can be simple for you to learn these topics. If you are looking to the computer screen, you can see a diagram here. Here the diagram is starting from the grass or seed, okay? And this wall is eating that grass to get the energy for the wall. And barn owl is eating this wall to get the energy from this wall, okay? So what's happening here? You can see the arrows, blue colored arrows, right? These blue colored arrows, not blue colored, okay, these arrows shows the energy transfer. What is this showing? Energy transfer. So from this grass, the energy is going to the wool, and from this wool, the energy is transferring to the barn owl. Okay, from where the grass is getting the energy? Of course, the grass is getting the energy from the sunlight. Okay, from the sunlight. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. We already know this fact, right? Sun is the principal source of energy. From the sun, we all the living organisms are getting energy from the sunlight. Okay, these are the energy sources: solar energy, wind energy, biomass energy, wave energy, tide energy. These all are kind of energies, but from where they are getting all this energy from the sunlight. So sunlight is the main source or the principal source of energy. You can see here the sun is the principal source of energy. Okay, so we can come to the food chain again. If you are coming to the food chain, I already told you that green plants are getting energy from the sunlight. So green plants getting this energy, and that energy can pass into the another organisms. Such a kind of energy transfer, okay, such kind of energy transfer is called a food chain. Okay, the diagram showing this energy transfer or the flow of energy is called food chain. Okay, now if you are looking here again, another picture, you can see another diagram or another example of food chain. Can you see on the screen? So you can see maize is a plant, locust, you can see it here, lizard and the snake. Okay, so these organisms make another food chain. How? See, the maize is a plant is getting the energy from the sunlight, of course. Okay, and plants are called producers. Why are you calling them producers? Because they can produce their own food. Can we produce our own food in our body? Never. So we are not producers. Okay, we are not producers. But only the plants are producers because they can produce their own food by using sunlight in the process of photosynthesis, right? You already learned this one. So from this maize, who is getting the energy? See the arrow? It's going to the locust. Okay, the locust is getting the energy from the maize plant, and lizard is getting the energy from locust, and at last the snake is getting the energy from the lizard. So the diagram, the black color you can see in between the diagrams, right? It's passing the energy. See the energy flow from maize plant to locust, from locust to lizard, from lizard to snake. So this is the energy flow or energy transfer. Okay, this diagram is another example of food chain. As I told you, these plants are the producers. So what can we call these all animals? They are calling as consumers. Okay, consumers, because they are consuming the food from the producer. Okay, so the first organism, we can call them primary consumer. The second organism can be secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Such a way it will go. Okay, if it's a long food chain, there will be more consumers. The number of consumers can be increased or decreased, no problem. Okay, so these are the producers, consumers, and what is the next one? There is one more thing at last, decomposers. Okay, decomposers. So producer, consumers, and decomposers make a food chain. If you are looking here, you have to learn these definitions and points in this unit. Okay, first of all, as I told you, sun is the principal source of energy. Okay, and this energy is flowing from organism to organism. That's called flow of energy. In such a way, we are getting the energy. Okay, when we are eating food, what's happening? We are getting energy. Okay, this is also, we are a link of food chain, of course. Okay, so what is the definition for food chain? Diagram that's showing flow of energy, okay, or transfer of energy. That's called food chain. And producer, as I told you, producer is an organism that makes its own food by using energy from sunlight. Examples are plants. Okay, examples are plants. If you are looking into your course book, you can see the examples for course book page number 266. You can see the examples of food chain and food web. You can see it here. In the food chain, you can see a plant here, then the locust or grasshopper, and a bird here. Okay, so see here, the grasshopper is getting energy from this plant, and this bird is getting energy from the locust. At last, who will eat this bird? If after dying this bird, what will happen? The bacteria or any kind of microorganism can be decomposed. Okay, can make it organic matter. Okay, so that such kind of microorganisms are called decomposers. Okay, such kind of microorganisms are called decomposers. So this is the producer, these are the consumers. Both of them are the consumers. You can say this one primary consumer, secondary consumer, then it will come the decomposer. Turn for the decomposers. This is the last step, okay, for the food chain. Decomposers are the last organisms that can decompose the dead organic waste. Okay, the dead animals, dead organism. It can, an organism that gets energy from the dead or waste organic matter, that's called decomposer. Okay, that's called decomposer. Again, producers are the plants. Okay, they can make their own food. Then consumers, organisms that get energy from another organism. Okay, that's called consumer. And what do you mean by herbivore and carnivore and omnivore? We already learned this one before. Herbivores are animals that eating plants. Carnivores are animals that eating another animals. And what about another more thing? Omnivores. Omnivores, I didn't write it here. Omnivores are animals that can get energy from both plants and animals. Okay, such kind of organism, that kind of organisms that can eat both plants and animals, that is called omnivores. And then one more term you want to learn, trophic level. What do you mean by trophic level? The position of organism in a food chain. Okay, the position of an organism in a food chain. Maybe it can be first, it can be second, maybe it can be primary consumer, maybe it can be tertiary consumer, like that. The position of each organism in the food chain is called a trophic level. So we can say the food chain is a diagram showing flow of energy, as I told you. Then what about the food web? Food web is the interconnection of food chain. There will be more food chains in a food web. For example, you can see here, from this grass, who is eating this grass? Squirrel. And who is eating the squirrel? Ocelot. Okay, so this is one food chain. You can see another food chain here, from the plant to iguana to the hawk. This is another food chain. But here also they are connecting in between, right? They are connecting. So interconnected food chains. Here another food chain you can see. Here another food chain. So here 4 kind of food chain are interconnected. Such diagrams are called food web. Okay, food web. Web of food chains. Okay, so you can see the definition here, food chain and food web. These are the things you want to learn from this unit. A small portion now we are learning. After that we can continue. If you are looking here, some of the examples of food chain you can see. Maize, from maize, locust, lizard. See, if I am drawing the arrow, it shows the energy flow. Okay, the arrows shows the energy flow. If we are considering the pond or any water food chain, then water plants, a small fish to the big fish, grass to rabbit to lion to snake and to bird, like that. Okay, the arrows shows the energy flow. And here you can see the examples of food web. So we can continue this topic in the next session.